I want to talk about path to spiritual enlightenment. Mine was my Kundalini experience. When it happened, um, is when I had grief, when I had loss. But before it happened, prior, and I'm still in the stages of learning true spiritual enlightenment. Okay, it never ends. Mine was through trauma, where I experienced my Kundalini experience, my Kundalini energy. Um, Normally, it comes through the solar plex. Mine did not come through the solar plex. Mine came through the heart chakra. Okay, and it activated. Now, the spiritual path that we all take, or we can say spiritual enlightenment, um, the path to eventually spiritual enlightenment as we know it. Now, we know that there's dark and light, right? Um, and I feel like a lot of people that have the Kundalini, that is very, the true Kundalini, okay, it's always been dormant, okay? The true Kundalini that I understand today as to be is emotions that have been suppressed, right? And it comes to a point where you cannot suppress those emotions. So you get that burst of energy, um, which is that Kundalini energy, okay? Um, so I'm going to explain this to you guys. I wrote this down. The spiritual path exists so we can free ourselves from suffering, okay? Self-inflicted suffering or suffering that happens in trauma, grief, any kind of aspect of life itself, right? So the spiritual path exists so we can free ourselves from suffering, okay? Whatever you're suffering from, okay? Some people have, with me, I had anxiety and I had depression. So we can find our true peace, okay? Our true peace with ourselves, okay? That's the true Kundalini experience, okay? True peace, wisdom, the meaning of wisdom, right? United wisdom, okay? Meaning so we can live a deep life, a life of truth, okay? A lot of people are not living a life of truth, okay? Many of us agree that enlightenment is already here and now, okay? And that it is our true nature, right? Or the true nature of reality, okay? Whatever your reality is at this moment, okay? Or at the time that it happens. Enlightenment is already here, okay? It's dormant, okay? It's your emotions that you, and then what happens? Um, some people have nervous breakdowns because they don't know how to channel the energy. Um, that's Kundalini energy, okay? But you have to be grounded um, to experience this experience because it can make you crazy. Like I said, I know people that went mad, okay? Now, you won't feel like yourself because you're not understanding. It's like you're detoxing from a lot of things. It's like a detox, but it's a spiritual detox, okay? Um, so enlightenment is already here and now, okay? It's in within us, but it's dormant, okay? But once it becomes activated, then we know our true nature, okay? Our true nature is our true self, okay? Um, it is not that we have to achieve it or become it, okay? Whether, but but we rather need to remove the obstacles to express the emotions. The obstacles are actually the emotions you have been suppressing. Okay. That's the expression. Okay. Living in your truth, speaking your truth. Okay. The need to exist within the expansion of the consciousness, right? Expanding into a higher and enlightened consciousness or becoming a Christ being, okay, does not mean you lose sight of duality, okay? It means you can help others to see and work with that duality to transmute lower vibrational experiences in our lives, okay? In our lives and other people's lives. All right, lower vibrational experiences in their lives and our lives, and become more spiritual, expanded, or evolving beings. Okay, you have to forget that you were unlimited to the to create the limited perspectives to experience the world as you identify it is, as you identify the world as it is today. Okay, but you are the paramount creator in your life. So it means you are both limited and now learning that you are also unlimited. Okay. True enlightenment is seeing and living your truth and helping others to see and live their truth. Okay. Um, Now I wrote a lot of stuff down. I'm not gonna read all this. Okay. Um, but true enlightenment starts. The true purpose is to become more aware of your ignorance of yourself as yourself demonstrating as a human, and to realize you have to choose a limited perspective to experience your own individuality. That's speaking your truth and living in your truth. Through this through this realization, you reconnect to your super conscious spirit and the ultimate through your enlightenment understanding that the quickest way to happy, prosperity, and abundant life of health, wealth, and vitality is through high morals and ethic principles. This means high morals, okay, is that you won't sacrifice your morals for anything, okay? You stand in your truth, you live in your truth, okay? That's high morals, okay? You never waver, okay? Um, to understand the quickest way to be happy, prosperous, and abundance life of health, wealth, and vitality is through high morals and ethic principles. So you need to keep your ethic principles. If you have principles in life, you need to keep them, but you also need to have be aware of everybody is not going to have the same principles um, or the same morals. Okay, um, that you have. People seek enlightenment to understand the secret workings of spiritual powers that govern the physical world. Once you have reached this point of enlightenment, you can easily choose um, which path, okay, and to live in your true nature and to become the true creator um, of your purpose, okay. But to for this to happen, it's the end of the forms of mental and emotional suffering. Um, Once you're down, you can't go no more down. Okay, so once you're down, the only way is up. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna read all this, you guys. I wrote so much down. Okay, we do not have to find enjoyment because we are already a joyful being. Okay, people out here looking for joy, find the joy within yourself. Okay, it is a natural vibrational state in spirit form. Asking how they asking how. Remember, I said joy is it's within you, project it. Okay, you reflect it. Okay, it's not something that you can find in others. Okay, just like love. This is what you find in yourself first. When you find the joy, you find the love, right? you find out who your real self is, right? Because you know who you are, right? But you're scared to be living in your truth. That's the whole thing. You're scared to show your true emotions. Once you understand that, the enlightenment begins. Okay, the enlightenment begins as process relearning this unlimited aspects of being, and also cannot forget the ultimate. Ultimate does not go through the birth and death rebirth cycle anymore. Um, it's a process, um, transitioning through the birth and death process multiple times. Okay, this is what raises our subconscious, our conscience, and our reality, and also raises our frequency, vibration, um, and it changes the person you are. So this is the spiritual path that is this that I know as the Kundalini experience. The Kundalini experience is when you um, um, it's a traumatic event that happens in your life, and your chakras are completely open. Okay, because you can't take no more pain, you can't take no more hurt, you can't take no more trauma. So it's an energy that shoots up through whatever way it comes out. Normally people say their sacral chakra, mine was my heart chakra, and then it just like a burst of energy, whoosh, and then that's when the enlightenment starts. Okay, but it's a process. That death and rebirth process goes over and over. But then you learn to love yourself, you love to forgive, you learn to find joy. Okay. Um, and the anxiety and the depression, I really believe it has to do with, I don't believe, but I know it has to do with being empathic. Okay. You can feel everything around you, and you have to learn how to channel the energies. Okay. Um, but this is what I believe the spiritual path that exists today is true peace, true wisdom, true joy, true happiness, and speaking your truth, living in your true potentiality, whatever it is, and finding your true path in life. Okay. All right, you guys, this is Jennifer Felix. I am sending you guys once again light and love, and I'm seeing 0000, which means new beginnings. Um, the most powerful souls are often sent to the darkest places. Okay, the most powerful souls. So that's what I mean. When you're at the darkest place, the only way is the light. Okay, um, you're in that dark place, and then you go all the way up, and you reach that Kundalini energy is activated because you're at the darkest place, okay? And you can't go no darker. So what happens is that Kundalini is activated and that prana is activated. You're actually breathing that prana. All right, you guys, this is Jennifer Felix. This was what I'm getting as the true Kundalini experience, the true spiritual enlightenment as far as being awoke. Um, People talk about Kundalini experience, and it's interesting because people search for Kundalini, and the Kundalini is yourself. It's your emotions that you have been suppressing. That's true Kundalini. Okay? All right, you guys. Once again, this is Jennifer Felix. I'm sending you light and love. Light and love, my beautiful souls.